A peaceful journey through the Great Wall of China. Close your eyes, take a deep breath, and let the world slow down. You've just entered a realm where stories drift like soft whispers in the night, guiding you into peaceful dreams. The first golden rays of dawn stretched across the sky, casting a warm glow over the quiet village nestled at the foot of the Great Wall. A thin mist curled above the rooftops, slowly dissolving as the sun kissed the ancient stones. Birds stirred in the trees, their soft chirps blending with the distant rustling of leaves. The world was waking, but time itself seemed to move gently here, unhurried by the demands of the modern age. Li Wei stepped out of the wooden guest house, inhaling the crisp morning air. The scent of damp earth and blooming jasmine filled his lungs, awakening his senses. His gaze traveled upward, where the wall stood tall and majestic, its winding form disappearing into the mist-covered hills. There was a quiet reverence in the way the stone pathway stretched into infinity, a path paved by countless footsteps over centuries of history. With measured steps, he approached the base of the wall, his fingers brushing against the weathered surface. The cool stone beneath his fingertips felt alive, whispering stories of ancient warriors, travelers, and emperors who had walked this path before him. The air carried a hushed silence, as if the wall itself had paused to listen to the footsteps of those who sought its embrace. He climbed the worn stone steps, feeling each one ground him deeper into the present moment. As he reached the top, a gentle breeze swept through, rustling the trees that lined the edges of the wall. Below, the valley unfolded like a dream, a vast canvas of golden fields, meandering rivers, and distant mountain peaks shrouded in a soft haze. The sun, now fully risen, bathed the landscape in a golden light, its warmth caressing the ancient structure like a long-lost friend. Taking his first steps along the wall, Li Wei felt an overwhelming sense of peace. The rhythmic sound of his footsteps echoed softly, harmonizing with the distant call of a lark. The pathway before him stretched far into the horizon, each stone holding secrets of the past, each curve revealing the promise of new wonders ahead. He walked not just to explore but to listen, to the whispers of time, the breath of the wind, and the silent stories hidden within the cracks of the Great Wall. As the morning unfurled into day, Li Wei continued forward, his heart light, his spirit calm. The journey had just begun, but already, he felt a part of something far greater than himself, a thread woven into the vast and endless tapestry of history. The sun had risen higher now, casting dappled patterns of light through the thick canopy of emerald green leaves. Li Wei continued his journey along the Great Wall, where the stone pathway wound through a dense forest, its ancient presence softened by nature's embrace. Towering bamboo swayed gently with the breeze, their hollow stalks knocking together in a rhythmic, soothing melody. The rustling of leaves whispered secrets of forgotten times, while cicadas sang their timeless song, filling the air with a peaceful hum. The deeper he walked into the woodland, the more he felt the harmony between the wall and the wilderness around it. Moss crept along the edges of the ancient stones, vines wrapped themselves tenderly around the battlements, and small birds flitted between the branches, their bright feathers flashing like scattered gemstones. Here, history and nature coexisted, bound together by the quiet passage of time. Li Wei paused, closing his eyes and inhaling deeply. The crisp, earthy scent of damp wood and fresh leaves filled his lungs, grounding him in the present. Every breath carried a sense of renewal, as if the forest itself were sharing its quiet strength. He could feel the presence of those who had walked this path before him, guards who once watched the horizon, weary travelers seeking refuge, poets who found inspiration in the wall's unwavering presence. A few steps ahead, nestled beneath the shade of an ancient pine, he spotted a weathered stone bench, its surface softened by time. He approached and sat down, feeling the coolness of the stone beneath his fingertips. Closing his eyes, he let himself drift into the gentle rhythm of the forest, the soft chirps of distant birds, the whispering wind threading through the leaves, the steady pulse of nature's quiet heartbeat. Time slowed. The world beyond the trees faded, leaving only this moment, serene, untouched, eternal. Li Wei opened his eyes and smiled. The journey continued, but for now, he simply sat, breathing in the tranquility of the whispering forests, allowing the past and present to merge into one peaceful embrace. The sun dipped below the horizon, painting the sky in soft hues of lavender and gold. As twilight deepened, Li Wei made his way toward an old watchtower perched along the Great Wall, its silhouette dark against the silver glow of the rising moon. The air had cooled, carrying the crisp scent of pine and distant mountain mist. Each step echoed softly against the stone, the rhythmic sound blending into the quiet hush of the night. Reaching the entrance, he placed his hand on the rough, time-worn stones, feeling their silent strength beneath his fingertips. Inside, the tower opened to a small, elevated chamber where generations of watchmen once stood guard, gazing out over the vast, rolling hills. Now, only the wind remained, whispering through the cracks, carrying stories of the past into the stillness of the night. Li Wei wrapped himself in a thick blanket, settling onto a wooden bench by the arched opening. Outside, the Great Wall stretched into the darkness, illuminated only by the gentle glow of the full moon. The stars shimmered above, countless and eternal, like lanterns of the past guiding unseen travelers along the path. The distant hoot of an owl punctuated the silence, a solitary sound in the boundless quiet. He closed his eyes, listening to the wind hum through the ancient stones. It was neither lonely nor eerie, rather, it felt as if the wall itself were breathing, alive with the echoes of time. The soft rustle of leaves, the distant murmur of a hidden stream, the occasional flutter of wings, all wove together into a lullaby only nature could compose. With a deep breath, he allowed himself to relax, his body sinking into the warmth of his blanket. The weight of the journey faded, replaced by a sense of profound peace. Here, beneath the vast expanse of the night sky, he was but a small part of something infinite, a quiet traveler resting within the embrace of history. Sleep came gently, carried on the cool night air, as the moon stood watch over the silent wall. The first light of dawn stretched across the sky, washing the world in soft amber hues. Li Wei stirred from his slumber within the watchtower, the cool night air giving way to the gentle warmth of morning. Rising, he stepped outside, where the Great Wall basked in the golden embrace of the sun. Below, stretching far beyond the ancient stones, lay a valley bathed in gold, a sea of wildflowers swaying in the gentle wind, their petals glistening with the last traces of morning dew. Descending from the wall, he followed a narrow, winding path leading into the valley's heart. With each step, the scent of blossoms grew stronger, a delicate mixture of jasmine, honeysuckle, and sun-kissed earth. The air was alive with the soft hum of bees and the distant, melodic murmur of a stream weaving its way through the fields. Golden petals danced with the breeze, swirling like tiny suns caught in an endless waltz. Li Wei walked slowly, feeling the warmth of the morning sun against his skin. Butterflies flitted around him, their iridescent wings catching the light as they moved in rhythmic harmony with the flowers. The entire valley seemed to breathe, its rhythm dictated by nature's unseen hand, a symphony of color, scent, and sound, untouched by time. After a while, he reached the stream, its crystal-clear waters flowing gently over smooth stones. Kneeling by the bank, he dipped his hands into the cool water, watching as the ripples spread outward like whispers of the past meeting the present. The sensation sent a shiver through him, not of cold, but of profound serenity. Here, in the valley's embrace, there were no worries, no burdens, only the gentle touch of nature and the vast, quiet beauty of the moment. He sat there for a long time, letting the sun warm his back, listening to the stream's quiet melody. Gratitude filled his heart, not just for the journey, but for the stillness, the simplicity, the sheer wonder of being present. The valley whispered to him, its golden flowers swaying in agreement. and as the wind carried their song across the hills, he closed his eyes, breathing in the peace that surrounded him. At the highest point of the wall, where the land stretches far and wide, the world seemed to pause. The wind whispered through the weathered stones beneath their feet, each gust carrying the scent of distant villages tucked far below. The travelers stood at the edge, eyes tracing the horizon that melted into the skies, a perfect blend of nature's endless canvas, where the land met the heavens. The wall had been a companion, each step along its length marking the passing of time, like pages turned in a book of memories. But now, here at the summit, the journey had come full circle. The hills that undulated in every direction seemed endless, their green curves soft beneath the fading light. To the north, the sky was already streaked with hints of orange and pink, a painter's palette of colors as the sun slowly dipped below the horizon. The traveler found a quiet spot among the stones and sat, allowing the weight of the moment to settle in. There was peace here, in the solitude at the height of the world. It was as if the wind had carried all the voices of those who had walked this path before, their steps long since erased, but their spirits still lingering. The stones, worn by centuries of footsteps, whispered stories in the silence. A soft hum of 1,000 untold journeys filled the air. Every corner of the wall, every crack and crevice, seemed to hold memories of travelers who had come seeking something, their own end, their own beginning. As the traveler closed their eyes for a moment, they let the memories of the journey flood over them. The countless moments of stillness, the quiet mornings filled with dew, the midday sun that burned with purpose, and the cool nights when the stars shimmered above. Each step had brought a lesson, each stone beneath their boots a reminder that time moved with them, carrying the world's whispers in its wake. The sun, now almost gone, left behind a glowing path of light across the sky. The traveler took a deep breath, feeling the air fill their lungs. The magic of the wall, the feeling of the journey, would remain within them forever. It was no longer just the place they had traveled, it had become part of who they were. The wall had given them more than a path, it had offered the promise of peace, of perspective, of understanding. And now, with the horizon before them, the end of the journey felt like a new beginning. As the stars began to take their place in the sky, the traveler stood one last time, looking out over the land. The wall's magic would stay in their heart, forever stretching across the horizon, where the journey had ended and the journey would never truly end. As you take in this moment of peace and relaxation, we invite you to support this journey by liking this video, subscribing to the channel, and sharing your thoughts in the comments below. Your support helps bring more soothing stories and tranquil moments to life. Thank you for being here, may your nights be restful and your dreams peaceful.